Broadcasting across the nation and around the world, it's the
Not so.
Late Show with
Brendon Love.
tonight.
Allysha Joy.
And now, with the power of a straight 8-engine, Dave.
Brendon Love. All right. I feel like you were pretty impressed with that intro.
That was really neat. You did that all yourself.
Yeah, I feel like you've underestimated it. I feel like you've underestimated the production values I go to here. Look at this. I did research on you.
You got cue cards.
I did research on you. Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to the Not So Late Show. We're finally back in Australia. I'm jet lagged. We just finished the EU tour, UK tour. And we're finally home. We were supposed to do a show from Zurich, but it didn't end up happening because it was a whole border crossing fiasco.
Oh.
It was a nightmare. Have you ever had to deal with import-export stuff when you're touring?
Do you mean like your visas and things?
Nah, like
Import, export?
like of your goods, like so.
Oh.
This is probably not interesting for people, but when you're importing, exporting like musical equipment, it's technically considered commercial goods. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, there was a whole hold-up going from Germany to Zurich in Switzerland, which I thought was part of the Schengen, but apparently it's not.
Wow.
Anyway,
Okay.
Nobody wants to hear about.
And what, you couldn't play the show because of that?
No, we could. It just took a while at the
Okay.
border crossing. I didn't do anything. Liam did it all, but I was just on the bus, just twiddling my fingers.
Yeah, I was going to say, did you have to deal with that?
No, we do, because we're on the... And this is not interesting. Nobody wants to know about the paperwork involved in touring. Anyway, we're back in Australia. We're going to do... And so the idea is we're going to do this show every Sunday, 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock. I haven't decided yet. It depends. We'll see what everyone thinks and how it goes. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling on because we have Melbourne's very own Allysha Joy here joining us. Thank you very much for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Little background on Allysha Joy is a singer, poet, songwriter, producer, keys player, and performs in the Melbourne hip-hop collective 3070. Now, whether performing solo or accompanied by members of 3070, Allysha's sturdy groove and husky vocal tone and unique style of writing emanates her own personal truth and powerful energy.
It's true.
Allysha has performed alongside such acts as Sampa the Great, Man Made Mountain, MKO, and Simon Marvin from Hiatus Karaoke. Now, I noticed on this press release...
That's a bit old.
Yeah, I was going to say, there seems to be a distinct lack of and ARIA award-winning, Grammy-nominated Teskey Brothers.
This was before the Teskies. I think that's like 4 years old.
Yeah, right. Well, just a little bit of background.
But most of it's all still true.
Yeah, but
the Teskies.
Yeah, I was just a little offended that wasn't on there. Allysha played our single launch back in 2016, 17. At the Bella Union. That was before Half Mile Harvest came out, so that's... And
I also did a little duo situation with Josh at, what was that festival?
Bello Fest.
That was really nice.
And you sang Drown in My Own Tears.
Yeah.
That was funny. It's funny you bring that up. We were talking about that the other day on tour, and we were like, that was the best thing ever. Because I remember you two went first, and then literally everyone else was just like, I don't want to go on after that.
Just like dropping such a heavy tune in the beginning, too.
But also just two such like you couldn't like get two more like powerful, soulful singers, and then everyone else was just like, I don't want to do my plinky Bob Dylan now, you know. So
thanks.
Well, it was very good. Now we should acknowledge some of this. Bring back to the land of Tim Tams, indeed. Yes, thank you. Your music lights my days. Lights my days. I agreed with Hannah something. I'm surprised it isn't more popular. I don't know what you're talking about.
Which isn't more popular?
I don't know. I should have read the comments before it.
Soul music?
Maybe this TV show.
3070?
Yeah, I don't know. It will be. Well, after having you on.
Yeah, true.
Yes.
This is my big break.
Ah, golly gosh. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
There was debate whether I was going to do this or not. But I was like, you know what? I've come off tour. I'm lonely. And you know that thing when you come off tour, it's always just like...
Yeah, a lost soul.
it's like re-entering Earth orbit.
Yeah.
And there's just like all that tension, and then you go from like be here, do this, to just complete nothingness.
Yeah.
And isolation and loneliness. You know what I'm talking about?
I do. I really do. And that's funny because I feel like I hit that today. I've just been traveling the last month, a bit less intensely than you, but I just got home and I was like, yes, I'll come over right away.
Yeah. I've got nothing on.
Brendon,
I'll drop it now. Yeah.
I was going to have a rehearsal and then it got cancelled. So I was like,
really?
Please.
With 3070?
Don't let me think about my life.
Yeah, well.
No, it's not that bad.
No? Which band? Do tell.
No, it's actually, I'm doing a little song with Close Counters at the Nightcat.
Cool.
They've sold out 2 shows at the Nightcat on the 21st and the 22nd.
Cool.
Yep.
Get along to it. When's that?
Yeah.
21st, 22nd.
Of February.
Yeah.
Really
Get along
soon.
to it, people.
Well, actually, they're both sold out. So, there you go.
Well, there you go. Yeah. The other day, Sam was, when we were in Europe, we were doing some promo thing, and Sam was like, why do we have to do this if it's sold out? I was like, it's kind of a good point, but, it's...
Make people know that you got to get on the tickets quick.
Exactly. You got to get on the tickets quick.
Tickets quick.
You said that you're working on some new material for your next solo record.
Yes.
I have to say that me and Josh particularly love the last one. Did it come out in 2018, I think?
Yeah, it did.
That was one of my top
2018.
albums of 2018.
Brendon.
Well, I even did an article on it. I wrote a whole thing about it.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
It's funny, we were talking before this, and we were talking about, I guess, like, post making a record and just the PTSD from going deep on creating your own music. And yeah, like I'm really grateful to have made that album, but I can't listen to it now.
Is it for you though? Is it because you listen to it and go, do you second guess? Do you think I could have done that better, or
there's so many
because
things
you've evolved sort of
yeah,
personally?
You keep evolving. Hey,
yeah. But it gives you drive though, doesn't it? Because
it does.
Well, this next album,
totally,
I'm gonna nail it.
And it's addictive in that way, like making music, because you want to constantly better yourself, or say the next thing that you have to say, or
What is the next thing
challenge.
you have to say? Where are you?
Actually,
Because the concept of the last album, I don't know, for people that have heard it, or for me, I feel it was a very clear not concept, but it was like a real good. It was a clear snapshot for me.
Yeah.
I reckon of where you were probably at that time.
Totally.
And so what's
Totally.
what's happening in 2020 as far as
that record was definitely a lot about social change, and I guess that includes looking at yourself and correcting things, maybe conditioning from your childhood, or different things that you can improve on to be a better part of society. A lot about honesty and just Australia, sexism, these sorts of things. And I guess this next album is a little bit deeper into my own experience of self-healing. Less, I guess, about the bigger picture, about more of what we've all probably experienced of the Australian upbringing. And this is more, I guess, about my own personal journey. So it's pretty raw, like the last record, but raw in the message more, I think this record is. Yeah.
You couldn't call it Raw Part 2 or something. Raw.
Cardi Rora.
Even more Raw. Yeah.
Aurora.
It's interesting though. Because there's always those two sides of it, isn't there? There's the kind of the social commentary, or at least the analysis of the conditions in which you live, but then there's also the introspective, okay, how am I reacting, and how am I sort of engaging in this as well? And totally. I found our last album, there was a lot of going in, probably to the point of neuroses, went a little too far.
Yeah.
But you kind of got to do that to then know. Well, for me, it was just the complete ego death and just burning the forest down.
Yes. And I feel like that's a big thing for when you're making a second album, because the first one, it kind of happens really naturally. Well, it did for me. It was very I don't know, it was very just true and just exactly what I was feeling. I didn't question question it as much as I have this next record, because I really want it to be the progression of thought, and I want it to be, a deeper experience. But then also, because you've gained all this knowledge, you want to, I guess, better yourself. So there's that thought in the back of your mind, like, have I even improved? What is this?
Yeah.
You know, which is like, of course, you're always improving. You're always challenging your past perceptions.
Yeah, I mean, like at the start of... I ask myself that every morning, and then before I go to bed as well.
You ask yourself?
Yeah, like, well, it's just, I mean, how could I do it better? Not just musically, just everything.
Life.
Yeah, it's
fully.
just like, I don't know, like when I was in Europe recently, I was just walking down the street and I walked past, a guy in the street who was, down on his luck, and I kind of just was in my own head and just sort of walked past, and then later that night I just was thinking of that, and I was just like, like, it's just little moments like that where you just feel like I could have done better, you know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
It's just like these little small things to you that would mean the world to someone else.
Yeah.
It's just not hard to stop for a moment and actually try and engage in something like that. So,
yeah. Totally.
Anyway, this is getting a bit too philosophizing. Your show in Munich was incredible. Yeah, thank you. But I mean, we've got Allysha here. Like,
no,
I know we're on the Teskey
we're live
channel
on
here.
the Teskey channel.
I know it's the Not So Late show, but we've got in my opinion, one of Melbourne's best soul voices. So let's just letting you know that I've been listening to the
Come
Teskey
to
Brothers for 2
Mexico.
months, and I felt thank you, everyone. That's very lovely. Any plans for festival this year, BL? For a festival this year? What do you mean? As in me going to one personally or playing at one?
Maybe the Teskeys should put on a festival.
Here we go. Love Allysha's diverse sounds. Thank you so much, Katie Patati. So do I.
Bless you, Katie Patati.
We're very lucky to have her on today as well. This is the thing about Melbourne too. So every time I go Aussie, yeah, you get that a lot in the audiences. I never know how to respond. We're
not so patriotic over here.
Yeah, because it's sweet, but it's the same time. It's like, it's not the cricket, Well, what was I going to say? Something about... whenever I'm overseas...
Sing for us, then.
Sing for us, then. Well, maybe we will later. Whenever we're overseas, people always ask about the Melbourne music scene. And they're like, what's it like? Is it good? Is it like... It's got this reputation. Pretty much everywhere we go, someone's asking about it. And I think this is the classic example of it, is like... It is amazing, but it's so small. Everybody knows everybody. Everybody has played with somebody from the band. Like, for example, our horn section, I stole directly from Allysha's band. That's no joke.
Really?
Yeah,
actually.
I went to your gig at the Evelyn. Like, maybe.
Oh, you did that intentionally?
Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to sabotage you. I was just like,
that.
yeah, they're too good. And I got upset, so I was just like, I'm going to steal their horn section.
Well, no, actually, we changed bands. We flipped our lineup like 3070 does very often. And we became a 5-piece. It must have just been at the exact same time that you picked up.
You don't have to tell lies, okay? It was just that, like, we stole your band and you got upset about it. It's fine.
There's wars in Australia about music.
But anyway, Melbourne's such a small little scene. So it's like, we used Nathaniel and Ruben on the first album, and I saw them performing at your gig. And that's what sold me on them. So,
yeah. And you also worked with Ruben Legg.
Oh, yeah. Was he in 3070?
He was kind of in 3070.
Okay.
Yeah.
We
dated for a while.
Really? Oh, well. There you go.
The connections.
Oh, I think I remember someone say, I don't know. But yeah, it's Melbourne. Everyone's dated. Everyone's either played in everyone else's band or dated everyone else. It's ridiculous here.
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
Come to Hawaii. Yeah, I'd love to. Does it not spin you out just a little that people in Germany know and love your music as people in Oz do? It does spin me out. Does it spin you out? You've toured. You've done a few European tours.
Yeah, it does. It does spin me out, actually. Or it's strange when people know less about the music but more about your life. That's what freaks me out.
What do they know about your life?
When people be like, oh, you live with Danica Smith, Yeah, that thing freaks me out.
People know a lot about not about me, but everyone, everywhere I go, it's like the first thing they ask is like, "Where's Clarice? How's Clarice?"
Oh, yeah.
I get a lot of like people asking me about Clarice, which is sweet.
Yeah.
But that's really the only thing people care about in my personal life.
That's nice.
But I've had people send things here as well.
To Clarice.
No, like yeah, like I've had people send.
That's happened to me too.
Yeah.
And I have realized that it's maybe no.
How do they get the address? This is what I'm trying to figure out.
Well, my address was. I don't know if I can say this now.
What?
That we're on the internet.
Yeah, right.
But my address was the return for our merch that we were sending.
Rookie mistake,
Which is
mate.
really rookie.
You gotta get a third party aggregate, bro.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I mean...
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of gifts, by the way, check out these mugs that were gifted to me by a lovely fan of the Not So Late Show and the Teskey Brothers, Monica, whose last name I can't remember and I should have written it down.
Wow, she made them?
Well, she got them made for me, yeah.
That is pretty sweet. And Clarice is on the back.
That's true. Everyone's always like more Clarice content. Trust me, there will be some Clarice content.
She doesn't really want to be my friend, I don't think.
She's over there. It'd be hard
Somebody
to get
asked, where are you both originally from? And it's kind of funny because I grew up just around the corner.
Did you?
Yeah.
I thought you were one of those Byron annoying hippies. You know those people that just seem to turn up in Melbourne and it's like they have no history beforehand and then it's like, yeah, I was from Byron. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, those people. There's a lot of good musicians from Northern Rivers, though. I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't ruin my fun bagging hippies, but okay.
Just trying to be friendly.
No, I know. Where did you grow up then? Around the corner?
Yeah, I grew up.
Like Belgrave or something?
No, Templestowe.
Templestowe.
And Donvale.
Yeah, right. How
and
old
friends
are you?
in Warrandyte.
Yeah.
How old am I?
Yeah. So is that around that?
No, you don't ask that question.
Well, I don't know. How much younger, like, how much older than you am I?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, I'm 32.
Oh.
I'm just saying, like, it's weird that I didn't know you if you grew up in Templestowe.
Yeah. And I think you actually went to school with Michael. Did you go to school with Michael Stanzel?
Ben Stanzel.
Yeah.
His brother.
Yeah.
Is that older or younger?
I think Michael's younger. We're going just personal lives now.
Yeah. Anyway.
Anyway,
there you go.
Warrandyte. It's a small community.
It is a small community. Ellie, I had dinner with your mum this week.
Who is
kites.
that? The paper kites. Oh, that's so nice. Do you know the paper kites?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, beautiful band.
They're from around here too, aren't they?
Yeah, like kind of Ringwood, maybe.
Yeah. The cafe I frequent, they have something. I don't know what they have. Hey, paper kites, what do you have to do with Now and Not Yet? Because every time I go there, Derek's...
Well, it's like a church community, right? That owns Now and Not Yet?
Yeah, but I don't know what they... Like, I think maybe one of them worked there. I don't know. Let me know, paper kites. Have I eaten all the stroopwafels yet? The stroopwafels didn't even make it home, trust me.
That shit is so good.
Oh, boy.
Are you into... do you heat them up? Like, you go the... That's what it's about. You put the stroopwafel on the coffee, or you just go
Every
cold.
single person in Amsterdam told me this, okay? Stroopwafel, okay?
But
I
some people
even learned to say it properly.
Some people just go straight in. It's like, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, no, I know. No, we didn't even get to that. Like, they went like... So, I don't like...
Your voice is amazing. Is that for you or for me?
It certainly wouldn't be for me, trust me. You heard me sing. Good golly. Yeah, like, so a couple of years ago when we were in Amsterdam...
Stroopwafels are better warm.
Yeah, okay. But anyway, we were in Europe, and I can't remember how, but I saw this thing, and I was hungry, and I ate it, and it was just like, I don't know. I was just like, oh my God, that is tasty, and I had to find out what they were. And they were stroopwafels. And then so I did a gig in Amsterdam, and then on stage I said like, oh, I love these things, and then everyone laughed. And then when we went back there this year, people were bringing us hundreds and hundreds.
That is so dangerous.
No,
I know. That is not the tour diet.
But you know what?
You got to take care of yourself, Brendon Love.
You know what? I'm proud to say that the Not So Late Show is proudly brought to you by Daleman's Stroopwafels.
Wow.
There we go. That's yeah. That's whoops. That's how much we love the old stroop waffles. I didn't get to eat a fresh one from the stand though. I tried to, and I got there at this little market, and I got there about 5:05, and it shut at 5. So, yeah, it was a bit of heartbreak. Anyway, enough about the culinary delights of Amsterdam. Let's get back to the hard hitting. The hard hitting. I want the Allysha music stuff.
How do you recover if you lose your voice on tour?
This.
Lekker. It's all about the pre-planning, and I feel like Josh and I have kind of similar voices in that, and we've talked about this. It's like you got to take care of husky voices. You got to maintain the husk. You can't go too far. Josh is really good at partying, it seems, or like being loud.
Oh, he's loud, yeah. But
See, I feel like I have to pull myself away from the party so I don't lose my voice sometimes. Is he about that?
Yeah, he has to go in isolation.
Yeah.
So I think the thing with so basically the biggest thing with singing is not singing. It's going from singing and transitioning into talking straight away.
Yeah.
And I think
not even straight away, just in general. I think talking gets you more than the singing. The singing is fine. Although I feel like Josh does this next level yelly growl. I don't think I could maintain that like he does, but
I think he's just done it so long that he's just kind of learned how to do it. But tour for him's not fun because for him to maintain his voice is like a 24-hour a day thing.
Yeah, fully.
He's got to go on vocal rest, and then you get isolated, and then after a show, I'll go out and meet fans and sign things, and that's really lovely. But he can't go out, and then they're always like, "Where's Josh?"
I hate that because then you people feel like you're being like a sook or being super precious. But I used to lose my voice a lot more, but now I won't eat sugar. I don't really drink beer. I try to stay pretty quiet, but I have a really loud laugh, so that kind of tips me off sometimes. But the singing is fine. Also, talking at gigs, talking in loud venues.
Yeah, that's the worst. That'll kill your voice.
Yeah.
And the thing that the hardest thing too, I mean, you'd probably be able to relate to this, is when you play a big-ish show, and then there's a lot of industry types that you kind of, you sort of got to do the schmooze after the show. Yeah. And it's just really hard because you want to be polite and friendly and everything. And there's a business side to music where you've got to kind of, be accommodating and friendly. But it's really hard for singers because you'll come off stage and then there's the whole backstage thing going on.
Yeah, totally.
And it's loud and you're trying to talk and it's just, and all you're thinking about is I've got a show the next night and my voice isn't going to make it,
Yeah.
So.
And I feel like that's extra challenging for me sometimes because I'm I go pretty deep. I go pretty deep
what do you
into
mean deep?
well, into the soul and into the moment and into the I guess I give a lot when I'm on stage. So I feel like it's the vocal thing is one thing, but then also just energetically after a show. You're giving so much of yourself. And then afterwards people want to have this conversation when's I don't know.
I get what you're saying. I think it's definitely different for singers.
Yeah.
I mean, there's I just stand. I don't do anything. You know what I mean? I'll be the first to admit, here's the scoop. I don't do anything. I just sit there and just you know what I mean? I don't think I've ever gone past the 5th fret on my bass. Ever. Or played anything other than the E string.
Wow.
So afterwards...
You heard it here first. Brendon Love.
Yeah.
Not really necessary.
No. So for me, it's I can sort of get off stage and...
be straight. Yeah, totally.
Well, yeah, but for singing, it's this. You just got to put so much into the performance. So
I see revealing.
Yeah, I see it night and night with Josh as well. It's just he just puts so much into it. Not that we all don't, but there's a certain level of energy and, I guess, honesty and authenticity that has to go into singing. Yeah. I'll be the first to admit that there's been nights where I'll be tired or I don't know, like not really present, and you can get through the gig.
Yeah,
you
totally.
can play the right notes, and you can play in time, and I mean, I hate to play that way. It's like not ideal, but realistically, you can get through it. As a singer, I just don't think you could ever do
No,
that.
you can't.
And
I'd
if you
cry.
tried to, and if you tried to, the audience knows straight away.
Yeah,
like, it's just
totally.
like, music is the best
Yeah.
barometer for bullshit, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
It's like
Completely.
you just know straight away.
Yeah.
But yeah, what do you do, like vocal exercises, or do you do the straw thing? What, any techniques as far as?
Sometimes, but my vibe with gigs now is it's more of a mental thing. I guess it's that thing of like, if you're not in the right headspace, I feel like that matters more than your instrument sometimes. Like, my focus now is trying to, I guess, breathe and just be calm and take whatever comes. We do a lot of improvisation in 3070, so I guess it's different all the time. So you have to be like ready to respond, and ready to respond in a good state of mind. That's more of my warm-up than the technique. It's just like getting myself to a calm level.
I feel like you're a little too wholesome for me. Like, I'm so sarcastic and sardonic. You're just like this grounded, like, lovely,
That's
wholesome
it, you gotta be
person.
grounded.
Yeah, no, I'm far. You're far too wholesome for this show.
What's your warm-up, Brendon?
I like.
2 tinnies and a ciggy.
No, well, I don't drink, which
Oh.
you know, or I think you know. I don't drink. I've never drank.
That's pretty
I
wholesome.
don't smoke either.
How do you go not drinking on the road?
On the road,
Have you not drunk?
I've never
before?
drunk, so it's never really been an issue for me.
I didn't know that.
Okay, well, I don't drink, so
That's great.
it's fine. Nobody really drinks that much on the road anyway. Like, I mean, we're all in our 30s now, and we quickly realised that if you're going to tour and play every night, it's just not sustainable to kind of do the rock and roll cliche.
Totally.
So, I mean, like, we're really tame. Like, I finish the gig, I have a shower, I'm in bed by 11, you know, watching, like, 10 Things I Hate About You or something like that. I don't know, like, it's
With the
just...
photo you stick up on the wall of Clarice.
No, you know what? I'm going to show you something, and I'm going to show all of you something. It's not just a photo. Hey, Brittany, hello. You should, if you haven't checked out Allysha's music, you should check it out, because you, of all people, and
Who's Brittany?
Stephanie will love it.
Hi, Brittany.
They are 2 sisters from, I can't remember, the Sunshine Coast. I don't know.
Cool.
They just come to our gigs, and
Gig friends.
yeah. But I remember they came to our gig in Brisbane, and I just remember that they were standing in the front row the whole time, and they just had their eyes closed. They were standing next together. They just had their eyes closed
you are
and their
my
hands
kind
on
of
their
people.
chest. And I just couldn't stop looking. I was just like, oh man, that's so nice. And then afterwards, I just wanted to go say hello to them.
Yeah.
And it was like this weird thing where I was like nervous.
Yeah.
I was like, I just want to say thanks for being a nice audience. Anyway, wait, you entertain them. I want to show you this thing, because it's not a picture, it's not a photo of Clarice that I take on tour.
People have been asking about the live album for the Teskies. We got to get to that next.
Well, I want to get to the more Allysha related things.
Oh my!
So,
This is pretty...
this is a Clarice blanket that comes on tour with me.
Oh, Sunny Dog!
Yeah.
Oh, what a beautiful angel.
Yep. So I wrap myself in that nightly, and that is my good. That's my good.
Did somebody make it for you, or you made that yourself?
No, I didn't make it. Somebody sent that to me, which was lovely. I have another one which has
So
my
cool.
Yeah, there's another one with my face on it, but I just felt a bit weird sleeping with my own face.
Whoa.
You can have it if you want.
I'll sell it online.
You won't get much for it, trust me. What the live album?
What if I get you to sign it?
And still, I mean, if you got Josh to sign it, it might be worth something. But
How far is his house from me?
what?
How far is his house from me?
Josh's house?
Yeah.
It's yeah, no, nobody knows where I was. Like, hang on, it's literally behind us.
They're near that river spot, hey?
Nah.
Oh.
He's literally next door.
Oh.
Yeah. So I grew up on the other side of him, and now I live here, which is on the other side of him. But
Yeah, right.
my back fence where the horsies are, backs onto his house. So me and Josh live next door to each other. So, you know, play in the same band, live next door to each other. Yeah.
What a space.
Yeah. I don't know when the live album's coming out. I mean, I do know, but I just don't know when I can say that it's coming out.
Why?
Well, you know what it's like. There's all announcements and label things, and, you know, like, I'm not sure
See,
when.
I'm not that deep in it.
Okay, well. I'll put it this way. The live album is sounding excellent, and very excited to get it out. Let's just leave it at that. And it will be out sooner rather than later. I think it's safe to say that.
You just said nothing.
What? I said it's sounding good.
No, that is complicated. The labels and the releases and things. You just...
Well, it's just got to be all tied together, like, because...
Yeah.
I mean, it might get a little too industry talky, but... you know, like when you're with different labels for each territory, it's like it all has to be synced up, and, you know, you just... When you release something, you put so much work into it, so you just want it to have the best chance of getting out there and being seen, so...
Yeah.
There's professionals that work in each department that are professionals for a reason, you know? When we put the first album out, it was literally like I drove it to places and was like, can you sell this? You know what I mean? And then, like,
With that voice?
Yeah, pretty much. And then like drove it to like PBS and Triple R, and then they played it. And then I remember one, like, I was literally doing the distribution for quite a while, and it would like, you know, Pat at Rocksteady or Chris would ring me and be like, oh, can you bring another 20 more in? And I was literally running it around like that. So to not have to do that's pretty good.
Yeah, definitely.
You're not doing that.
No.
Your return address is not on the merch still? Or? No. All right. Just in case. I just tuned in and heard I am excited to get it out. What? Oh, Nadine.
Do you know Nadine?
I do.
Oh,
yes.
okay.
What sort of music do you make? I assume they're asking you.
That might be for me.
Yeah.
Although I'm intrigued about your solo career also.
Are you being funny or?
You never know.
Yeah, right. Well, there is one, but, you know. Let's talk about your music first.
I make soul, jazz, hip-hop. I guess it's kind of experimental combination of things, music.
You know, there's really just, there's a good, you know, just get on Spotify, look up either Allysha Joy or 3070 and have a listen for yourself.
Yeah.
But the cool thing is, look, this show, the Not So Late Show with Brendon Love, obviously, you know, it's a Teskey Brothers thing, so I'm going to get people on here whose music I love. So I feel like if you like us, we're probably going to have similar tastes, so you should check out Allysha. And what's cool about it is that I feel like on the line of, you know, if we're just talking soul explicitly, on sort of one end you've got us, which is a very kind of throwback, traditional sort of homage, and then we've got you over here, which has a lot of those elements, but is also a bit more of a contemporary approach. It's the same feeling, but just a different expression. That's how I look at it.
Totally the same feeling.
Fair to say?
And like lots of the same influences, I think.
Yeah.
Just taking it in different directions.
Yeah, but it's all, I just see it as the same. So, you know, if you like us, I feel like you're going to love Allysha. Especially if you like Josh's voice, because they're both very strong, instantly recognizable, like, you know what I mean? You can turn the radio on and it's just like, pow! I know. Right? Like, yeah. I'm curious what the Teskey Brothers' middle names are. Okay.
Surely that's on the internet.
Yeah. Josh's is Robin, and Sam's is George. There you go. Mine's Paul. Liam's is John. What's your middle name?
Joy.
Joy.
Yeah.
I should have known that. What's
Allysha Joy.
Yeah, okay.
And my mum's name, Joy. And my grandma's name,
Joy.
Joy. Not a Joy.
Yeah. Victor, Torquay. I just feel like, just drive to Melbourne, you know? It's not that far. Like, we could go to Torquay, or you know what?
It could be a nice time.
Yeah, you could just get in the
Did you
car.
enjoy the arias? Did you enjoy the arias? Oh.
That's a tricky
You
question.
didn't enjoy the arias.
That's a tricky question, Allysha. Did I enjoy that? Who asked that? Says Matt Hill. Have you been?
No.
You haven't won any arias?
No, I haven't won any arias.
Oh, that's a shame. No. Yeah, because I've won a couple. How was the arias? I don't know where to start. Like, yeah, I don't know. It's like one of those things. It's just like it's a massive honor to be a part of, as you would imagine, especially like an
huge.
independent band like us. That's
Yeah. And making soul music, not making pop music. Like, it's massive.
yeah. So I mean, that was amazing, but the event itself was just like, oh boy, like my social anxiety was just through the roof. Like I was really struggling.
Yeah. Oh, that's really cool to say.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Because, like, I feel like I'm recognizing this more and more as, like, you don't ever get to a point where you feel, like, ready for the thing that's happening. You're just, like, doing it all of a sudden.
Yeah, I spoke to my friend Paul Bartlett, who's an amazing drummer, about that idea of there's so many things. Like, you find yourself, you'll do an interview and they'll go like, oh, so how are the arias? And you go, yeah, good. And it's just an automatic response. And it's like, but then you catch yourself going like, I went to the arias and I won one.
Totally.
And I'm so just...
You gotta, like, remind yourself, yeah.
It's like you never get time to stop and absorb it because you're constantly moving. It's like tour, arias, the next thing, the next thing.
That's so blessed, though.
It is, I know. It's like, it's a pretty privileged problem to have. But just as a general life lesson, it's just like, stop and absorb it and try and enjoy it. And even though I really struggled, it's like, just, try and sit there with this feeling and try and see a positive in it.
Yeah.
But I struggled, it was a struggle. It was a crazy night. Afterwards, there was, like, after parties and stuff. Like, because it's filmed, I think, like, 2 hours ahead. Mm-hmm. So what you see on TV is 2 hours behind. So I think it finished about 9 o'clock and everyone's, like, going to after parties. I literally got in an Uber and went to my hotel room, and which I don't know, probably watched, like, Shrek or something. So that was my arias.
That's really cool to talk about.
Oh, well, thank you.
How do you have any tactics to, like, deal with that in the moment?
With what? Social anxiety?
The anxiety.
Tactics.
Or you just
to be honest,
grin
like,
and bear it?
No, like, to be honest, it's like, I'm only just dealing with this in the past couple of years. Like, I sort of went through a really bad, depressive episode, and then that's kind of extended on to sort of more anxious, feelings and struggling with social anxiety. And previously it was just avoidance, which is not the right thing, but like, it was just like, oh, no, I would always be like, I'm not the party guy. Because I don't drink, and it's like, nah, I'm not the party guy. So I wouldn't go, and my ego would tell me, like, that's who I am. I'm not the party guy. But then when I broke all that down, I realized, wait, that's just what I'm telling myself. It's just like, I'm not the party guy. When really it's just like, I want to be the party guy, or at least want to be involved, but I'm just too anxious to be.
Wow, that's really cool.
In these things. So dealing with that is just like tempered exposure. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So having control over sort of not avoiding social interactions, but like
that
just having a bit
cool.
more control over it. And like, so at the end of every gig, I'll go out and meet people and sign things if they like, which is a real struggle for me, but I kind of force myself to do it.
That's
and
awesome.
the minute I start to feel like, I kind of go, thanks,
That's
guys,
enough.
and then I go to bed, I do some breathing exercises and stuff like that. So it's just a mixture
that
of
is
like
so cool.
meditation, breathing exercises, and also just recognizing the signs. Because previously it was like, there'd been times I was on stage. I remember I was in Brussels. This is before I kind of understood what was going on with me. And I was just like, my hands were tensing up, and I was just like, my chest, I was like, oh my God, I'm having a heart attack. Or, I was like, what's going on? And I looked over at Josh, and we were only like 4 songs in, and I was just like, I'm not going to get through this gig. And so I was just like,
Did you? Yeah.
I did get through it, but afterwards I just collapsed, and then I went back to my hotel room, and I thought I was sick, but I didn't actually realize it was just a mental thing manifesting that way. So yeah, there was a lot of like figuring out what it was, but it's a lot better now.
Yeah.
Yeah, just by recognizing it and kind of knowing the signs, so it doesn't get to that point.
Yeah.
Where you're just like, like, you know, you feel it coming on and you're just like, I'm just gonna push that down and not deal with it.
Totally.
Whereas now it's like, oh, I've got that feeling, okay, and I can either remove myself from a situation, or I can do a breathing exercise, or I can kind of, you know that, or you understand that it's like, oh, it's, you know, you're not dying.
Yeah,
You know,
totally.
like, you're sort of a bit more aware, and it's like, okay, it's, you know, like it's, I know what this is, I'm gonna get through it. Anyway.
That's so cool to talk about.
Oh well, yeah. I've been pretty open about it since, because I didn't go on tour like 2 years ago or whatever, or like 1 year ago, and it was all because of that. Like I was just, oh boy, I couldn't leave the house. But I'm much better now, back touring and, you know, hosting a TV show. But enough about me, Allysha. Like, I mean, do you ever deal with that? I mean, like, what about? So I don't get nervous ever on stage. I don't get any anxiety around performance. I get like, my stuff is around either side of the performance. So meeting people.
Fully. I feel that.
So I mean, do you like? Are you a nervous performer? Do you get giddy before the show? Like, what are some of the things you kind of?
Yeah, I guess because it's kind of like, you don't prepare yourself for those moments where. I mean, you don't make music so that you can get on those big stages, and then all of a sudden you're doing it, and you're like, what? Just confusion. How did I get here? Sometimes, and just recently I just started DJing because I don't know, I've just kind of fallen into DJing, and I really enjoy it, but it makes me so nervous because there's a lot of really great DJs in Australia and the world, and because of my music, I've just been put on a platform where I'm all of a sudden DJing next to Giles Peterson, who's arguably one of the biggest DJs in the world, and a very influential guy in the music, in the jazz world predominantly, but in music in general. And I felt like I was gonna have a heart attack, like going into that gig, and it's fully that feeling where your body like, stops doing the thing. Like my fingers weren't working.
Yeah, wow.
Like, and I had my partner behind me ready to go in case.
What's it, just like step in and just like foot kind
of
thing?
fully, because he can DJ as well, and he's a really great DJ. But I wasn't sure that I was going to be able to get through it, because sometimes your body just does that. Hey, your body just taps out. Even if in your mind you can say, I'm safe, or everything's fine, sometimes your body just like, no.
Oh, yeah, I mean, definitely.
But with playing piano and singing, very rarely does that happen. I feel like that's pretty innate or something.
Yeah, I think it's all to do. Have you watched a documentary called Free Solo?
No.
Get into it. I mean, it's nothing.
Sick.
It's nothing to do with music.
Okay.
So Free Solo, you're probably thinking like, oh, cool. It's like a Coltrane documentary. It's nothing to do with music. It's to do with rock climbing, but it's all about that idea of like. So basically, he climbs these huge, like walls in Yosemite National Park with no rope.
Okay.
Just by himself.
Oh, I've heard about this. Yeah.
And everyone's like, how do you do it and not get nervous? And all, you know, and it's all it is repetition, practice.
That's it.
And building your comfort zone.
Yeah.
So for you, it's like you've been singing so long, you've been playing keys and doing gigs so long now that it's just like, well, what is there to be nervous about?
Yeah.
This is what I do.
Totally.
You know? And that's how I always look at it. It's just like, why would I be nervous? I've been doing this for so long. And then, like, you'd know too, like, you just get to that point where it's like, you can make the worst mistake possible. Like, I've made some clangers. I haven't actually. I'm perfect. I never make mistakes. But on the rare occasion...
pretty easy when you're not really doing much on the bass.
It's true. But, on the rare occasion where like, I don't know, I'll lose focus or I'll laugh at something or whatever. And you just
totally.
make the stupidest, like, semitone mistake where it's just like, oh... Even that, you just kind of like... I don't know, the audience, it's not the end of the world.
Totally.
Yeah, that's like what I really realized. It's just like,
And-
oh, the sky doesn't actually fall in.
Yeah, totally. And you learn how to recover. Like, you actually learn those skills, hey? It's not just like, yeah. You got to learn to recover from that, from those moments where you hit the wrong note.
Yeah.
Or like,
or just allow yourself.
mental
Yeah, just like not beat
game.
yourself up on it. And
Yeah.
like not. And it's an ego. Like, I always thought that the ego thing
yeah,
was
it
just
is
like.
an ego thing.
You know, it's like. People always think of the ego as this thing that's just like. Oh, they're arrogant and confident. You know, but ego is also the thing that keeps you attached to certain ideals.
Yeah.
And one of those ideals could be either perfection or not making the mistake or trying to present something in a certain way. So if you make a mistake, it's not so much that you're going, oh, I'm embarrassed. It's, you know, you're hanging on to that ideal of like, oh, that's not how the song goes.
Yeah,
You
totally.
know what I mean? But it's just like, when you let all that go, and it's just like, yeah, but that's the whole point of live music.
Yeah, fully.
You know?
Fully. And they're the moments for me when I'm watching people play that I love. Like, I love when there'll be this moment where, I don't know, somebody missed a hit and the band, like, looks at each other and there's, like, this connection that's really personal. I love watching that shit. Or I love watching people recover from, like, little mistakes or whatever.
My favorite is when Nathaniel makes a mistake. I don't obviously turn around. Here's one thing I've learned.
I love Nathaniel.
Yeah, so do I. But here's one thing I've learned. And like, I don't know much, but if there's one thing I do know about like playing live, it's never admit you've made a
Yeah,
mistake.
no.
Just move on. Don't acknowledge it. Just pretend it never happened. Don't ever
Push it down.
Not that way. It's like meditation. It's like thoughts will arise.
Yeah.
But just acknowledge them and just let them go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, the audience doesn't want to see someone go, oh, fuck.
Oh, do you do that on a gig?
No, I don't do that. I'm
Did
saying,
they?
No.
Oh.
But I'm saying the audience doesn't want to see that.
Yeah, no.
The audience wants to feel like you're in complete control.
Yeah.
That's why when you get on a plane and the captain goes, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be flying at 30,000 feet, and nobody cares. You don't need to know that. But what
Yeah.
it gives is the illusion of like, all right, this guy's in control. It's the same as when you're on stage. It's just like, hey, I'm in control. You all can relax because we got this. But anyway, Nathaniel will make a mistake, and I do just very slightly just give him one of these, and it's like I heard it. I'm not going to let on to everyone, but after the show, I am going to make fun of you.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Play through and keep grooving. That's it.
Yeah. I heard there was a good question back here. Free solo, so good. I know, you should watch it.
How do you know when you were good enough to start gigging? Was that the question?
Yeah, how do you know when you're good enough to start gigging or join a band? From Mitch Lee.
Also, to Casp7, right on. Sharing vulnerability is the way.
Oh.
How do you know when you're good enough? It's not a thing. I just like, who's good enough? Who's not good enough? We're all good enough to play in a band. Depends what you want to do with music. Depends
Good enough
what kind of music.
Yeah,
you
good
wanna
enough to
make.
start gigging or join a band. I mean, I would just say it's not about when you're good enough, it's when you feel ready. You know what I mean? It's just like, I was playing gigs when I was 9 years old, and I'm sure they were terrible. Like,
But you felt ready.
oh, it was, yeah, I mean, I probably didn't even feel ready, but I just felt like playing in a band is one of the funnest things you can do. I didn't grow up playing sport so much. I grew up playing in bands with friends and sharing that with friends. It's exactly the same as sport. Like, in that, you know, you've got a group of people, you've all got the same objective, and you're all trying together and learning together. It's a fun social thing, you know, and it's just such a great thing to do. So, you know, it wasn't a matter of being like, all right, we're ready. It was just like, we were so excited the fact that the four of us could all do something together, mildly in time and in the same pitch together. So, yeah, I don't know. And when do you join a band? As soon as you can.
Yeah.
As soon as you can find friends that, like, you can sit down and jam along with. Like,
Yeah.
you know, there's no, I'm not good enough, or whatever. Any chance you can get to just play with someone else.
Yeah, play with people that make you feel good about playing.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
important.
as a bass player, I feel like the nature of the instrument affords me the opportunity to like play with people that are a lot better than me. You know what I mean? Like, I've had opportunities to play with people where I'm like, I have no business being here. But because it's bass, I can just kind of like, just play some root notes or whatever.
Yeah.
And nobody bats an eyelid.
Wow.
But, it's like, good luck on keys sitting in this, you know what I mean? Like,
fully. Yeah, no.
Yeah. So I'm very lucky in that sense because it meant that I was always able to kind of jam with other people who are much better than me. But it also made me kind of, have something to aim for.
Yeah.
And I'm still aiming. Like I said, I'd barely go past the 5th fret, so. Thanks, peeps. Keep doing you. Oh yeah, no worries. Cool. Well, I feel like we're getting to the pointy end of this show. I feel like you've dropped off.
What? Hey, this is your interview.
Yeah, you hungry? What's going on?
I'm ready to get back outside.
Yeah, it is. It's quite stuffy in here. Come back to the Netherlands. Yeah, I just got home from there. And that flight, good God.
Really?
Well, you know what it's like.
I've not flown to the Netherlands.
Well, you've flown,
as into Europe.
You've flown to Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
wow.
God.
Yeah, you don't want to keep doing that.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I think that every time I go on tour, like, there goes another day of my life. Like, I think it shortens your chances.
I look at my passport photo from 4 years ago, and I look at my face now, and I'm just like, oh, my God. I look at the hope that existed in the eyes of that passport photo, and then I look at the bags, and I'm like, oh,
and
God.
Just, like, the coming back home, like, I had that so hard last time. Like, just, you want to, I don't know, you just want to be at home sometimes.
It's true, but the weirdest thing happens to me. So I go on tour, I miss home, I get a little depressed from time to time, and all I think about is coming home. Well, not all I think about, but I think about coming home a lot. And then I get home, and then it's like...
Yeah.
I feel weird.
Yeah.
And then it's like I want to push everyone away, I want to be alone.
Yeah.
It's this weird thing where it's like, all I've thought about is coming home, and now that I'm home, I just feel like... My body is home, but my mind is not, maybe, or I don't know what it is, but...
I think about that a lot, and, like, the adrenaline that it takes to do our job, and then when you get back home, how calm everything is, and, like, what you're physically going through, your body and your adrenal glands.
Yeah.
And you're, like, physical being is just confused. It's like, where's everyone gone? Why am I not getting some crazy adrenaline rush?
It's also all of your friends get really... Like, I don't even have friends anymore. Like, they're so used to me not being around.
Totally. People stop messaging you because they're like, oh, well, she's out of town.
Yeah.
Or she's too busy. And you're like...
So, like...
Call me. And also unreliable because things happen so quickly in music. It's like, oh, yeah, I'll come to that thing. And then you all of a sudden can't do what you said you were going to be able to do.
Yeah.
Because... our world just moves really quickly. Shit changes, and then all of a sudden you're, I don't know, playing a gig somewhere.
Yeah. It's my niece's birthday party next Saturday, and it'll be like the first one I've actually been able to go to.
I thought you were going to say you couldn't go.
Oh, yeah. Actually, it does work both ways, though, because you always have the perfect excuse not to do something. Right.
Got a gig.
Oh, I'm moving house. Do you want to come help me move boxes? You're like, oh, I got a gig. Oh, I wish I could.
Studio all day.
Yeah. What was I going to say? Somebody said sing a song, but I don't know. We haven't got a piano, so,
Yeah, sorry, everybody. You're going to have to just look it up online.
Yes, but do look it up.
You should, for future episodes, you should invest in a keyboard.
I've got a keyboard, but it's a little 21 key thick one, so it's just for recording and making my fat beats,
Yeah, what's the solo project?
It's too top secret. Much appreciated for the time you give us on tour. We
What a cheeky life.
work to live, not live to work.
We
I
work
agree.
to live.
Give us a quick solo, Allysha.
I sung a song for Clarice before. That was nice.
It was lovely. Hang on, wait. Come on, you must know. We've got 6 minutes left.
Shit.
What can we do? I don't know. something.
We could do Drown in My Own Tears. That's the first song that's coming to my mind. Do you know how it goes?
Yeah, I gotta remember how to play it.
Into my eyes.
Alright, let's do that. Sorry, okay, I remember it. Okay. Ready?
It brings a tear into my eyes when I begin to realize I've cried so much since you.
What's the? I don't remember the chord. Sorry.
Yeah, you had it. It's up there. Since you've been gone, I guess I'll drown. Yeah. We gotta at least finish the phrase.
No, we gotta finish.
My own tears.
No. I think I'm playing in the wrong key.
This is live.
Yeah, I know.
Teskey TV.
Yeah, well, I don't play guitar as well, so I don't feel that bad.
That was pretty good. That was a little quick one.
What's the next chord after that? 1
Which
to
one?
5 or? I drown too much.
Where are you?
Since you've been gone.
I guess.
Anyway, I'm sorry. This is.
Johnny Mountain.
There you go. If I knew how to play the song, or if we had to rehearse this, it would have been good. But
Next time.
I'm dead. That was absolutely perfect. Look, I'll be the first to admit, I really let the team down on that one. Much like most Teskey
You had the
Brothers
harder
gigs.
job.
But what? All right. But I mean, you were incredible, and I just wanted to thank you once again, everybody.
100 times better than I can do.
Oh, well. Yeah, and I was also figuring that out on the fly. I've
Yeah,
never
that was
played that
great.
on guitar
That was
before.
great.
I just, you know.
No, Allysha was perfect.
Okay, all right, just relax. We've got 3 minutes to go.
Bless.
So,
You know what I want to know?
what do you want to know?
I want to know when Josh is going to let me sing on the Teskey's album.
Well, we'll talk off air. When we were doing So Caught Up, we were like, I really want to get female BVs for this.
Yeah.
And we were going through the gamut of people. And you were like, definitely up there on that one. But quite honestly, the only reason it didn't happen is because that song was, I was listening to it and I was like, I just feel like it needed a bit of the night and day thing. Where it was like, it's got Josh's power, but then it needed some sweetness. Not that your voice isn't sweet. Not that it's not sweet.
get
What
it.
I'm saying, it's a very powerful voice.
It's rough.
So, we definitely want to do that. We just have to find the right song. Yeah, but we'll talk off air. Yeah. Anyway, 2 minutes to go. Thank you again for coming in.
Thank you
everyone
for
for
having me.
watching. Sorry
Thanks for watching.
about my guitar skills, but I will practice something next time, and it'll be good. Dig that hole, Brendon. Yeah.
Dig that hole. Shit. Do you ever get nasty messages?
Oh, that would have been a great topic to talk about. We only got
I feel
1
like
minute
that
left.
happens when you get given
I don't get.
presents.
I'm really
Sometimes
lucky.
you
I
get-
don't get very many nasty. I mean, the band gets its fair share of nasty stuff, but to be honest, I like that because to me that says we're doing well enough that some people are just like, you know what, fuck
gotta
these
bring
guys.
you down.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like that's a great sign of success
Yeah,
if
totally.
people feel strongly enough to send
Yeah.
you nasty stuff. You know?
Yeah, or if your content's hitting the trolls.
Yeah, right. Do you get that?
Yeah, I mean, not so much nasty, but sometimes just a bit whack.
Just dickheads.
Yeah, just dickheads.
Yeah, but you know,
Yeah.
you just gotta. That's all part of it, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you all for watching. Thank you, Allysha. Check out Allysha Joy's music or 3070, Spotify, all the streaming services, YouTube. That's all I got. Tune in, same time.
SoundCloud.
This is going to happen every Sunday now. Sunday, 7 p.m., possibly 8 p.m. Tune in. I'll have a different guest each week. We'll do a musical performance. It'll be good. Thank you.